flowers with some pretty fancy fringe. There was something else I was going to talk about. One of the most important things that I've discovered, and it was this pouch purse that I discovered it with, is that you need to test your colors, because, ladies, colors that look terrific in the tubes next to each other don't look so terrific.
I'm going to trade for you those.
Okay.
All together, and then
Don't look so terrific sometimes when they're, you know, one bead here and one bead there, and they're not in big quantities. It changes the colors. This is the successful color swatch for the next bag that we're getting ready to start. This is the same thing with a blue, two different blues actually, and neither one of which really did what we wanted it to do. One of them went really well with the brown bead. The other one is a matte bead, and it just is dead looking. So the blues both had to go. I did one with a white background just to see what it would look like. It worked gorgeous with the blue, but we've done two bags that are basically white now, and we wanted one that was dark. This one is about the brown bead, and the first beads that we picked out were all copper colored, because the darkest brown bead is called dark copper, and it has copper highlights. But most of the colors that we tried with it made the dark copper bead look like it was charcoal gray. This is the sample that I did for this bag that we've done. We found a number of colors that looked great in the tube, didn't look so great in the purse. We changed the color of the blue, we changed the color of the greens, we changed a lot of the colors. You can see here a number of colors that we didn't go on and use. We also used this to notice certain things about the pattern. The top flower had square petals, and that sort of thing just drives me bananas. So I went through that pattern and changed a whole lot of the squares to round those petals up, because nature doesn't make square petals. So anyway, we can start.
I learned that in grade school.
So I've learned that doing some test patterns this is a big project. You want it to come out nice. You want to do some test panels. I have done them on the loom or the little loom. I have also done them with square stitch, which produces a very similar fabric, a very similar pattern.
I just need to interject. Having been like a real weaver, you do the same thing when you're working with fiber. You actually make a swatch, and it's worth the time and the effort and the quote wasted materials, because just exactly like Ron said, what you see is not always what you get, and as the colors lay next to each other and intertwine, they look entirely different.
Yeah.
So
that's one of the things.
Pattern, yeah.
Well, one of the things they teach you in art school is that what your color is in one circumstance, it ain't going to look that way when it's next to another color. So you have to find out what all those colors are going to look like in the context before you know if you're going to really like that pouch bag that's going around. There's several of those reds I would not use if I'd had smarts enough to do a test patch first. So just, you know, it's okay, but it could be better if some of those were a little subtler. Sewing in the threads is the most tedious part, followed by warping the loom. That's tedious too. Yes.
I don't understand why you have to sew in the threads. It seems like the length is arbitrary. What would happen if you just sort of snipped it short?
It would fall off. It would fall apart. Yes. Oh, very quickly.
Red sample that's going on.
Really? So that's essential?
That's essential. You must do that. That's what seals the ends.
Oh. It doesn't seem like there'd be enough room to do all that back there.
Well, it's tricky. As you can see, if you look at
She's going to show what'll happen.
it stiffens the fabric when you slow them in.
Oh.
It fills the holes of the bead.
But there is nothing.
Here's what starts to happen. This is a pretty stiff sample,
Oh.
but it's real easy to tear.
There's nothing to hold
There's
it.
nothing that holds it together.
So you don't like tie little
When
knots?
you see the demo,
you'll see that there's really
Yeah.
not a lot of
You
holding together.
can, the samples that I'm sending around in Zoom, I tie the threads together, but you end up with this bushy little thread. On a rug, when you're weaving with fibers, you can tie those in fancy patterns and get a beautiful fringe, which you can put your fringe on using these things if you want to. You still have to find a way to consolidate this edge because otherwise it just falls apart, unravels.
Is there a point, you can see just from it being handled, they're starting to come out. They come
For how long?
Yeah.
Like a proportion?
No, not really, enough to get the needle line working.
So it comes up.
Yeah, it just starts coming undone because there's nothing holding it together until you sew those threads back in. I knew I wasn't going to sew those threads back in as soon as I took it off the loom because the thread was so intractable and the thing felt nasty. The thing about loom weaving is the texture of the fabric is so luscious and you don't get it with that.
Right.
So when you sew in, you just start going up, like, do you start going in and out?
What I
You really would.
that's what they tell you to do, is to stitch up
Look at the ones I made now. I'm gonna look at them all set now. This one and that one. Tell me about it. This one. And what about it? You just made it? I did. And who are you? I'm Jessica. Jessica. And this one? Did you make it with your little old hand? I did. And this one? And now I'm going to go sit down. Excuse me, pardon me. I'm recording you, so you just be nice to me.